Limiting beliefs are holding you back from seeing what's possible in terms of relationships and anything that you want in life. Let's go ahead and get a deeper look into what I mean by these limiting beliefs. And we're gonna go ahead and hit to the science part first before we get into the theoretical. So the brain is only gonna look for what you tell it to. For example, right now, I don't want you to think of a pink round balloon elephant. Don't think of it. That's probably the only thing you can even think of or imagine. And if not, boom, there it is right there. That's what I'm talking about. The whole point of this little tiny exercise is to show you that the brain does not know the difference between think and not think of something, because it only knows what you put your awareness on. It does not really think in terms of not and think. It just knows what you put your awareness on. And the fact is, you put your awareness on the pink balloon elephant, not to not think of the elephant. So what is the solution here? The solution is to put your awareness on what you desire to happen and its result. This is what the brain, your consciousness, and the universe will all summon and create. This is the basic principle of manifestation. So I'm gonna give you guys an example from your past. And I know everyone's probably experiencing this, where you're focusing on not being late. You're trying to get somewhere, you have something to do, and you're focusing so hard on not being late there because time is running out. You're like, oh, I don't wanna be late for this thing. So then so many things end up happening that make you late. Like you don't find your keys, you can't find your wallet, there's a ton of traffic, there's no parking where you're trying to get to go. All these things are happening because your brain is focusing on the situation of late. It does not understand the word not late. So what would be the solution to this? If you already know the solution, go ahead and put it down in the comments below, but I'm gonna tell you right now, after you put a comment. It's basically to change your mindset to, I will make it there on time. I will make it there early. And now your brain, your consciousness, and the universe are all gonna work together to create the on-time event, the early event, rather than the not late event, because you switch your attention from late to on time and early. So we talk a lot about relationships here, and how do these principles and the limiting beliefs affect our relationships? The thing is, when you change your mindset, your assumptions, and your beliefs to the things that you'd rather have in a relationship, then you will start to see those things coming to you. They'll come to you in a way where you really can't predict, so it's not up to you to determine how it'll come to you, but you can predict how you'd feel and the end result of those actions. Those end results, those feelings are all gonna come from our imagination and from our deep consciousness. So for example, we're gonna go ahead and get into how to do that later, but I'm gonna give you another example here. Let's say you're telling yourself that relationships are unfair, and you only see situations where relationships are unfair. And this might manifest in other people's relationships, or TV shows where you see unfair relationships happening, or fiction books where there are unfair relationships, or even your own relationships with others, because that's what you're putting your attention on. Another topic we need to discuss before we continue is that our reality is 99.9999 X amount of nines % energy and only 0.00001% matter, which are the things that we can see, touch, hear, and feel. Well, feelings are different, but I meant touching. That's this tiniest part of an atom. So how come we're putting our energy, our thoughts, and our awareness on what we can see and feel when the rest of it, the 99.99%, is all energy, and we are the conscious energy beings? Because we are the energy and conscious beings, we need to be putting our thoughts and awareness on that 99%. We should be putting it on love, compassion, gratitude, things that we want to feel. When you feel grateful, it's because you've received something. You feel like, oh, I've gotten something, whether it's material or physical or mental, you've gotten something. So those are high, elevated emotions that we should be feeling. So how am I going to feel? You're probably going to ask me, how am I going to feel gratitude or love or joy if there's nothing around me to be grateful for? If you think you know the answer, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I'll go ahead and reply to you. But since you already know that 99% of it is energy, all you have to do is focus on an imagination, on a conscious decision, on a conscious event where you will feel grateful and joyous and loved or whatnot. When you put your attention on that kind of imaginative situation, it's bound to happen to you. Even if you say that there's nothing to be grateful for around you right now, I can give you a couple that are around you right now. So for example, you're watching this video, you have access to internet, right? You're able to watch this video, you're able to get new knowledge, new education. These are a couple little things or even big things that you can be grateful for that are around you right now. If we wanted to get into a situation where we want that thing to come to us, you'd have to think about something you would be doing if you were granted your wish or your desire? For example, if you got a new phone that you've been wanting, right? You'd feel how fast that phone was. Or if you got a job that was much easier, you'd feel, wow, I'm getting paid for such an easy job. Or if you want a relationship where you feel loved and it's easy to love and it's just all good, you'd be feeling that end result relationship. You'd have to imagine how it looked like, how it feel at the end, not how to get it. What's really important when you're thinking about these situations is that you make it active and with a lot of motion and movement. Because in real life, we don't watch things, we don't do things static images. We might remember a couple things statically, but it's always of an action. So for example, if you wanted a relationship where you feel loved, maybe you can imagine hugging a person, and that motion, that action, that feeling, it's not just a static picture. As I said before, if you wanted a new phone, you can imagine how fast it is to use your new phone. Or if you wanted an easier job, a better job that's also easy, or whatever it is you want, you'd imagine doing something that's easy and you'd feel easy, but make it an action, emotion. The next question you should probably be asking me is, what is the best time to do this? I can't, imagine and daydream all day. I have things to do. So the best time to do this is anytime you're relaxed. So like meditation stuff, I have a couple induction meditations you can use to get into that state of meditation, and then you can start imagining and daydreaming basically. But another great time for people who don't want to do any meditation is as you're falling asleep, because everyone is going to go through these stages as they're falling asleep. If you do this every single night, you will most certainly come across those events in real life. But most importantly, other than doing these things that I've told you, is you need to have faith that will happen. Because if you don't have any faith that these events are possible or can happen or have already happened, you don't have no faith that it'll work, then this is just like the principle of 4. Because you believe it won't work, things will happen, the universe will make it not work for you. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these manifestation techniques, and if you've already noticed any difference from my previous videos. And is there any questions that you have specifically? And go ahead and put them in the comments below, and you might be featured in my next video. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Go ahead and join me on Patreon as a free member. You're gonna go ahead and get notified of any of my video updates, and you're gonna have exclusive content on there hopefully soon. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.